everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and I am so glad that you are here today. We are talking all things bronzy. I don't mean from the sun, even though it is starting to warm up and we are all getting really excited. I do want to tell you I just put on some Lisa Eldrige skin tint, her seamless skin. I know it's shocking, but I love it. And I actually kind of like covered up hyperpigmentation with Mob Beauty. These come in little containers and you can buy these palettes. If you're not familiar with Mob Beauty, there are two owners of the company. One of them was one of the original formulators from MAC. And the other person has been in fashion and beauty, modeling, everything, makeup, skincare, the whole 9 yards. And the company is clean, sustainable. You can literally take their components. These can be reused because these are all palettes that pop out the back. So I used some of their concealer just to cover up some of the sunspots that I'm not really wild about. And then I took a tiny bit of their highlighter and just put it right here just to kind of make me not look as flat right now. I did a tiny bit of Saie. This is the Glowy Super Gel in SunGlow. It's a pump. This is not a self-tanner. It doesn't stay on after you've used it, but it gives the skin this really pretty bronzy hue underneath, just so I'm not looking quite as winter just ended, I haven't seen sunlight in 6 months kind of a look. So today I just want to explain, I have a gigantic box here that we will be swatching and looking at all the colors. I am also going to do a look for you, and there are so many different bronzers out there and so many different eye looks that you could put together with it, and so many lips that you can put together with it. But there is a range of shades, and I want to share these with you, and then I want to put together a quick bronzy look that you can feel at your summer best without even using sunshine. I do have SPF on today. I used the Bloomeffects. I love it. It's got a beautiful finish to it. It's really cosmetically elegant and just a lovely product. And it's a mineral sunscreen, SPF 50. Okay, I am going to start swatching these, and we're going to use probably every square inch of me. And we're going to look at the different tones and hues, and we're going to look at the different formulas, because you have a lot of options when it comes to a tan. Number one, got to take into consideration your skin tone, your undertone, what you're wearing, what the rest of your body looks like. I like the Fenty body sauce. I like to put that on my body because it doesn't seem to rub off on my clothing. I have used the Glowy Super Gel on the beach with my sunscreen when I rub my body, just so I don't look fluorescently white. Just a thought. All right, I'm going to start taking these out. We're going to start swatching, and then we're going to do a bronzy look without buying the bronzy from Dior. It was way too dark for me. And then the video after this will be a coral look using all those poppy colors. And then I'll probably do a more mauve toned look so that you can kind of see the difference between what the cooler tones and warmer tones look like. We're going to start with look and tan. So sit tight, we're about to start, and I'm very excited about this. Get a cup of coffee, get a don't know what time of day it is, a glass of wine. We're going to do some swatching. I know I'm not that great at it. I'm going to try to get better. So we'll see how this goes. All right, here we go. Okay, we're ready to start. I want to just say this collection has taken me a long time to put together. The powders and things are obviously, you don't have to throw them away as quickly if that's your desire. There's always a shelf life that you can look up in the websites. You can also always call the company and ask them or email them and find out the shelf life. And I'll show you all of these and I'll tell you what I think of them, why I bought them, why I do or don't think they work on me. I just want to establish right now I am cool toned. I usually wear one of the lightest foundation colors with a pink undertone. So sometimes yellow's first, sometimes pink is first. I'm usually in that like beginning couple, wherever they fit the pink. I would rather have the correct undertone than the correct color because I have a couple color adjusters in here that we're going to talk about. One of them was the Glowy Super Gel. This goes really well if you're using like a cream product that doesn't have silicones in it. You can give yourself like an all-over bronzing. It works on the chest. You could do your shoulders. And you can use a brush. This is really a good one. Okay, an all-over product that I have used also. This comes in a different bottle now a little bit. I have this one from last year. This is called Tea to Tan. It's by Terra. And literally it is, you open it up. If you shake it, you shake the mica into it. If you don't shake it, it won't be like glowy. You can just have it be sort of matte. And what you do is you just spray a little bit of it. Like I usually do it onto a brush. But when you rub it in, and this stays on me pretty well. I mean, not from like total swimming and stuff, but I'm going somewhere and I don't want to look as pasty. This is a good alternative for people who want to do like an all-over tan without self-tanning. I'm not very good at self-tanning, and I find that it tends to bring out my hyperpigmentation, and that may not be true for everybody, but I do want you to be aware of it. But these body brushes are great, and you can use them with the Fenty body sauce. So good thing to have. The ones that we just did are these Chanel Le Beige powders. So we have blush, we have bronzer, we have highlight. It's going to have a couple lines in it because it's a textured palette. I am going to go right here. That is the color of the bronzer that is in the lightest palette for the Le Beige bronzers. I have a whole review on these. 2 of them I purchased. Then for people with much deeper skin tones, or somebody who wants to use this as, oh my gosh, I didn't even cover the mirrors. I'm so sorry. I'm with it. I'm going to get really good at this today. So that is the color. If you remember, it was quite dark. I am just going to swatch it here just so you can see that it really would work nicely on a deeper skin tone, or it's a great eyeshadow for people, which I love. I think that's great. And I've been using these 2, doing it again, these 2 as blush. I am really glad I picked this one up. I have to tell you. Not a regret purchase for me. The next one that I got recently is this one called Beachwalk Betty. This is from RMS. This is a luminous bronze. And I really like the tone on this one. You can see that it's going to give me warmth, but it's not going to be crazy. I enjoy this so much. It's really got like more red to it. So when you look at these, you can definitely see that this one is just going to lean more warm generally. Then of course we've got this cool tone. I don't want you guys to think these stripes stay. It's just that the compact is textured for prettiness. Okay, and then we've got Beachwalk Betty, which has been a real favorite of mine this year. Okay, the next powder that I want to show you, I tried for probably, it felt like more than a year. This is the Valentino bronzer refill, because the one that comes with the purse is like $200 and something. So I finally found a refill of the bronzer, because all I did was hear about how fantastic this bronzer was. I will tell you, I cannot wear it. I cannot stand the smell of it. It doesn't dissipate enough for me. And it's a beautiful color, as you can see. But it's a lot like the Chanel. These two are, especially when blended out, but the perfume scent is so heavy. It's why I don't wear it. My new favorite powder bronzer is this beautiful giant Armani. This is in shade 120, and I love this because it's just got the right undertone for me. So those of you who are looking for a red undertone should consider 120. I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of difference in the depth of color that you were able to develop or the light of hand that you need to use. I am more about finding good tones. And this is almost like in the same family as the one that I really like from the Mauve palette. So I like that a lot. I'm trying to go powders first here. Okay, Victoria Beckham has her duos. How gorgeous is this component? Look at the tortoise. It's thin. You open it like that. You've got a mirror here. And then inside, you don't get just one. You get two powders, which is so nice. I mean, I love it because I'm constantly feeling like I want to be darker here and less dark here. And this just really gives you everything that you need. This is the #1 palette. And I sometimes use the bottom one as more of an under eye powder if I need one, like when I travel. Because it is a much lighter tone, but for my light skinned friends out there, that might be more your speed. Those two at the bottom. And then I also own the Victoria Beckham in #2. Same component. These are so lovely. Again, you get two shades here. And you can layer them. You can swirl them together. You can put them in different parts of your face or your body. This is just a beautiful matte bronzer. Her powders they're smooth. The next one is one of my favorites of all time. I mean, first of all, look at the component. Look at the color. Look at the filigree, the detail. Gucci, baby. I mean, it's Gucci. Inside here, there's a mirror. And then this is #1. It's quite a rosy shade. This is one of my most used and most favorite bronzers ever. Plus, I just love having it here because it is lovely. But that color is gorgeous on skin. And it is rosy and beautiful. I'm trying to see what it's like. So far, I don't think it's like anything that I've swatched. So these are really beautiful. Okay, the next one I'm going to pull out, these change from year to year, but the Terracotta lights are really fun because they have a lot of different colors. And this one tends to lean pink. I do swirl all of those colors together. And I think this is the last one we're going to be able to fit on here. Let me go in one more time. It's sort of like a highlighting bronzer. It's like a little bit of both, but I do like the idea that you can get just a very light wash of kind of dimensional color from that. I'm going to leave this on, but I'm going to pause this for a second and I will put this all back together. Okay, I just did my friend Grace's makeup, so I had to take this off because it would have gotten all over her clothing. So we're going to finish up the powders. I'm going in next with the Tom Ford Terra. This is just a real agreeable formula for a lot of people. It seems to just work on, except maybe the most fair people. It really is a beautiful warming of the skin. Even cool tone people should think about warming up a little bit. That's what the sun does to us. This is a classic. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Hollywood Bronze and Glow. You get both of them. I'm just going to swatch the bronze. There is a darker version of this. I do not have it, but it is available. But it doesn't come in a mini. You can get these in a mini. It's such a neutral color that almost anybody can wear. I really like it. This is another version of a lighter Guerlain. You can use these as bronzer. You can use them as like a blush. This one's for very fair skin. Really hard to get these to show up. There we go. So there you go. You've got one of the Guerlain. They change every year a little bit. They're all pretty much the same idea. I don't rebuy them every year. Okay, this is such a favorite. It is a drugstore item. It is from Drew Barrymore's line from Flower Beauty. It is one of the most cool toned bronzers around, and it's a drugstore item, which I just love. And it's just a really pretty, cooler tone bronze. The color on this is called Heat Wave. And it's got some luminosity to it, but it's not sparkly or anything like that. Okay, did I get through all of my powders? I'm going to do these next because these are my kind of a cream to powder. The Phytosurgence are different from anything out there. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pick it up with my finger because really you need to swirl a brush. Got some. Okay, that is, these are the rosies. They also make 6 golden shades. This is the lightest. And we're going to go to number 4, Rosy Warmth. That one was Rosy Daybreak. This one is Rosy Warmth. See, it's a formula that you really don't get a great swatch from, but you get a great brush from it. That's number 4 of the Rosy Warmth. And this is the darkest one that I have. This is Rosy Blaze. And if you go on their website, you will see that they have 6 shades of golden and 6 shades of rosy undertones. So depending on how much pigment you want, my lightest is 2, my middle is 4, and my deepest is 6. And there are 6 of each of the undertones. So there's something for everybody there. It's one of the things I love so much about them. All right, I think we are moving on to more of the creams. We're going to start out with the Mario Soft Sculpt. This, you know, it's a bronzer, but it's just also a way of sculpting the face without, I don't know, wearing bronzer. I do this one a lot when I'm either doing like a no makeup look, blends really easily. I didn't blend any of these, but it's just such a lovely formula. Now, if you can still find these, I'm a huge fan. These are a Armani. These are the Melting Color Bombs. And I have bronzy shades. That's the first one. That is number... Okay, this is interesting. Not labeled both names. This is the lightest one. We're going to go to the medium brown now. Sorry about that, guys. There's no names on here. These are really nice because they're very blendable. And because it's like a balm to powder formula, those are the 2 that I have. The light and the dark. That makes it easier. Okay, let's keep going. We have, this is one that I'm not a huge fan of, but I kept it. Is it? Oh no, this is the one I like. There's one with sparkles that I don't. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. It's called Tan Lines. It's nice and light. I know they have a lot of different colors. This is Tower 28 Bronzino West Coast. These are a little bit more slick in the pan. And then I also have Suncoast. This one's a little lighter. A little lighter than the other one. I have 3 of the Rare Beauty. Yes. So I have Power Boost. I'm like out of room here, huh? Put it up here. This is Power Boost. We also have Bright Side. It's going to be a cooler tone. The deepest one that I have is Happy Soul. So you can see there are just so many different iterations of bronzers with some of them seem to go more olive, more rosy, more golden. And it really also depends on the way you apply it, what you're doing to the rest of your skin. There's so many factors that go into it, whether or not you actually have a real tan, whether or not you have a spray tan on. So lots of different options here. Okay, we're going to keep going. The perennial favorites are the Chanel. This one is the Beige Soleil Tan Deep Bronze. This is quite a lot of pigment. I use this on other people, not myself. It is far too dark for me, which you'll see right away. Man, that is definitely for somebody else. I can wear the lighter Beige, the one in the fairest color, the original. You gotta be really careful when you close these to make sure the little tab is going out of there, because I've had them get stuck before and you can't get them out. Okay, so a lot lighter. And there are some other colors too, and I know that Ulta will have those. Okay, then we have Charlotte Tilbury. I have the fairest one. This is in the shade One Fair Pale. This is another cream formula. This one's very cool toned. So those of you out there looking for a super cool tone bronzer, highly recommend that one for you. It's a huge pan size. Can't go wrong. Then I have what I like to call the clean version of Chanel. This is from Saie Beauty, and I love this color because it's for people who don't have a very deep skin tone, but they do have a huge range. This is Fair Bronze, and it really truly is just so light and easy and pretty and subtle. Like you can even put it on like just to give yourself a little color in the winter time. We have the Mario in light medium in the stick. Getting a little warmer there. Not too bad. But you do want to warm up the skin. Like I'm always like, oh, I need such a cool tone bronzer. Something like this is not going to work for a bronzer. This is the amber color. I'm just going to draw this down. It's a contour because that is very gray. So everybody see the difference? This has such a gray tone to it, and these don't. Even if they're cool, they're not like a shadow, which is what that is. This is the 0.5 Tom Ford. Nice and cool toned. I also have Intensity 1 somewhere. Well, hopefully it'll turn up. There are several shades now that they do. The Patrick Ta, you get a cream and a powder. I'm going to swatch them separately and then together as one. We'll put the cream here and the powder here. And then I'm going to do, he likes to do the powder first and then bring it back to life with the cream. Obviously, I'm not blending, but they look weird in the pan, but pretty good on the skin. Okay, we're going to keep going here. Oh, here's one powder that I forgot. This is from Chantecaille. This is in the color Goa. There's also another color that's lighter, but it's really good for golden skin tones. This one, although darker, has like a really beautiful red undertone to it, and it's just a favorite of so many people. Gorgeous. Okay, I think we're down to... This one is sort of halfway. I showed you that one that was really a contour. This is Bisque from Westman Atelier. I would call this more of a contour. See how it's like a little bit grayer? But if you're really light and you put this on, it could be warmer than your skin, but I use it pretty much as a contour. And then I also buy like some of her highlighters to use as glowy sun products because I do like a little bit of glow and shine. So she's got a whole bunch of these. Okay, this is the D-Bronzi, and I'm going to show it to you on my arm, but what I use this for is to darken my foundations in the summertime. When I don't want to buy a new one, I add this to my foundation until it's the color that I want to be. So I highly recommend these for that use. And the last one I'm going to show you is from, it's sort of in between a highlighter and a bronzer in this color. This one is the Clé de Peau in 22 Shooting Stars. They have a couple that are bronzy like this. I'm just going to take the brush, just going over it one time. And let's go up here. It's a very subtle look. But this is sort of like a highlighter and a bronzer on very fair skin. Otherwise, it's just a highlight. Oh, and I'll show you up here. Let's try to really get that out. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty much my bronzers. I'm sure I've forgotten some. If you have any need for swatch comparisons, since I was doing so many of them, I couldn't possibly, I would need like 9 arms or 8 arms like an octopus. But I think the point here is that there's quite a few choices out there in the world if you're looking for a bronzer. And there's even more of them. Like I haven't bought, the only bronzer that I bought this year is the Armani, at least so far. Okay, I found a couple more. These are from Jones Road. These are the Miracle Bombs. This is the color Magic Hour. And the thing with these is that you have to break the seal. If you haven't used it in a while, you got to break it again. Get some pigment. It'll give you a very soft, natural glow to the skin. And they're also incredibly hydrating. I love them. They're great as blush toppers too. The next one is called Bronze. See, that's going to be a much warmer color. I mean, you can just see in the pan. This is what Magic Hour looks like. And then we also have Tawny, which for me, these kind of almost purpley browns really do a really good job of sort of mimicking the kind of very, you know, cool tone sort of idea of what happens to your skin when it gets warmed up. I know these look really light, but on a face that doesn't want to look like it's wearing makeup, they are spectacular, and they're also so hydrating. Okay, I was going to look here. I have bronzer in Golden Bronze Light. That's the bronzer that's in here. This is from Hourglass. Very pretty. Some of these darker finishing powders I can use as a bronzer. Nude Glow. Sorry guys, it's hard to read. Filtered Light could look like a bronzer on my skin. A little bit lighter, a little cooler. Too yellow. Okay, I'm saving one for my look. I still don't know where my intensity one is. Okay, so Saie has some loose powders. And when I met one of the reps at a Sephora, she told me that with my skin tone, I could use the deep powder as a bronzer. And as you can see, it's really pretty. Okay, a couple more things I want to show you. This is the Victoria Beckham Times Augustina Spotter Primer, and this is the shade Golden. And although it is not incredibly deep, when you put this on your skin, it will create this really golden kind of color that you can either put where you want it or underneath your makeup so that you just have like that extra glow. And the only thing I can strongly suggest to you is that both this product and the Saie Glowy Super Gel in SunGlow, these have no silicones, so they're going to kind of need to have some kind of foundation that doesn't have silicones, which is why I used today the Lisa Eldrige, and I also used the Mob Beauty right here. So that is my base, even though it has been a while. I could probably freshen it up, but I'm going to show you the bronzer that I've been wearing the most lately. is from Phytosurgence, and these did not swatch well. And I'm going to show you how I use these. They have a special brush, and you really go in like you're not joking around, because these are not going to get softer. They will pick up in the pan, and they will deposit a nice amount on your cheeks, but you got to work for it. However, this is the only bronzer that I would wear on the beach and feel like no one would know I was wearing makeup. It's just the most believable bronze. Do a little bit of my forehead with this one, and then we're gonna add some more color. So this is depth for rosy warmth. Then usually I go in with Rosy Blaze, which is the number 6. And I swirl around in this one. And just try to kind of buff it around my cheekbones. Give a little definition. Do the forehead. Across the nose. So that is the Phytosurgence. And then the other one that I forgot to talk about is going to come at the end. So a bronzy look. I don't want this to be about one palette. I looked into my palettes to see what had some tones that would be good for a bronzy look. So I've got the Natasha Denona Bronze. But again, I don't even want to tell you what the names are, because I want you to look at what you have and see what you think looks like it would be a good match for you tonally of everything that you have. Also, you can use your bronzer if you want to keep that out. This one I pulled because I really thought there were like some good brown tones in here, and I'm going to keep this one out. It is Mini Biba. Mini Sunset is a little warm for me. This is the Camel palette, especially that bronzy color right there. Okay, the one that I'm going to keep out right here is Biba, and I'm going to keep the bronzy one out. But this is so good for gold tone people if you can find it. Okay. I think Body Heat from Tom Ford is a great choice for a bronzy look. I also think Golden Hour, if you want to go in this sort of like blurry kind of golden sunset direction. Then I have Ember Bronze, which is that newer one that we had recently with the cream formula. These were gorgeous. Honeymoon, which they're going to try to sell you in new packaging. Don't fall for it. These are all gorgeous bronzy looks. Golden Mink. I pulled this, and I love to add like the sparkles to like the eye looks that I do for bronzy looks. This is Electric Cherry. Sometimes it's really nice to get a little red in there to really make the tan look real. And this is Tiger Eye, which is really just a nice soft one for looking like you have a tan. I also pulled out the actual bronze palette from Natasha. This is a warm one. I just used this on my friend. She's got very, very, very warm skin tones. I love the Sunrise palette. I think this has so many cool shades for summer. I think the Yucca palette, if you stay away from the greens and you just use like the shimmery golds in here, really pretty. Unless, of course, you're olive, and then go for it. I also have a lot of those beautiful tones in the gold palette. And finally, the Sunset palette where she started the whole thing. I bet you have as many options as me. And we were all freaking out and looking at, you know, what was released. I'm going to show you that it just doesn't matter that you didn't pick up the actual bronze stuff from Dior. That was a very, very deep. Then I discovered that the Guerlain number 4 is one of the prettiest bronzers that I could possibly own. And I am actually going to put this one on today to show you how pretty this can be on fair skin. And I love the glow. Now, this is not the only one that I'm using. Obviously, I have the Phytosurgence. Nice. It's like you're doing everything at once with this. Just make sure you keep it away from the middle of your face so you don't look like you're sweaty. I'll probably do that again at the end of this. Once we get the eye done, I'll be able to gauge kind of where I want to go with the rest of it. So I think for today, I'm going to go warm. The summer is all about bronzy tones. So I am going to use both the bronze palette that's pretty. You know what? I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to use the small bronzy one because this is like $27, I think. And I am also going to use something that I think a lot of people will have. I'm going to use Honeymoon because I think a lot of people have this one. And we'll just sort of embellish it. So I'm going to take a BK503 and I'm going to go into the second darkest shade. And I'm going to create the crease that I'm working to create right against my brow bone. Remember that the dark things push things back and light comes forward. So right now I'm just wanting to get a believable shadow really up here. I like that we're using the wet dry in this situation, dry, because I'm able to build pigment. I'm not getting overwhelmed by it. Probably don't look as washed out anymore either. Okay. We've got a nice crease and we've got a nice start to our up and out. I am going to go into the deepest shade with the T3 from Sonia G. I'm just going in and picking up that dark color to start building up behind the lashes here. And this doesn't have to be perfect. You're basically just trying to get over the fold here and trying to just wing out the depth that you have over here. Same thing over here. I like having that really nice deep color behind my lashes, especially at the edges, so that the fan out looks really pretty. I'm going to take the lightest shade in here with my finger. I'm just going to go on my lid. It's a very golden shade. And I think this palette is neutral enough that it really suits a lot of people. Once we start going into here, we're going to get into some really warmer looking tones. I'm going to take this terracotta shade on the end. I'm going to place this out over here. Just give a little bit of depth. And I think it'll go nicely with the bronzer. And I'm just going to go into this gold. Dot it across my lid. In the summer, I don't think you need to be like super fussy with your makeup. I think the fact that you get any on and you get out the door and you spend time outside is the whole point. Sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen. I'm going to add a little of the Armani using my giant rougher. This thing is a beast. 22. Go exactly where the sun would hit. Off and across the nose here. And don't forget ears or neck. We all keep so much sunscreen on now. Our faces are usually a lot lighter than our bodies. So, okay, now that that has that bronze, and I'm going to open up this amber color. My arthritis lets me. Go back into my pearls. Really make this nice. My husband just drove to the city to get pizza from our favorite place. There's so much construction going on. So I'm going to make this a fast look because it's good stuff. It's a place called Peace Pizza. They do a New Haven style pizza. Go into Ember. Sorry, I didn't mean to blind you. Ember that we used not that long ago. It came out. It was that just gorgeous. Any sort of like bronzy, coppery color. Just has all the feels for summer. We love. I'm so happy that it's summer. My son's coming home in 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. I'm calling it 4. Okay, now I'm going to take the lightest, just matte shade in this other palette that I pulled out, the bronze one, just to give a little light over here, just around the brow. And then if I want to, I can pick out any kind of just brown color and pull that out. It's just so pretty. And this is a highlighter from Clé de Peau that has all of these bronzy tones in it. It's like my favorite highlighter to wear in the summer. I will be wearing this look while we eat because I can hear him. I'm going to curl the lashes. Give a little Victoria Beckham gorgeousness. I love this kind of mascara in the summer too, like a tubing mascara so that your sunscreen doesn't like get all your eyelashes kind of wet and coming off all over you. Then you can finish the look with any lip gloss or lipstick that you would like. I am going to show you the cherry red would look like with this look. I love that little flash of color that you get because I can't really wear red. And then my one trick for the very believable bronzing, I'm going to go in hard here. Thank you, Armani. I'm really counting on you. Just kind of give myself a all over glow and take a little bit of red blush. And this is your little sunburn. It really makes the whole bronzing look so real. Bronzy without spending a penny. Use what you have, make it work. And you can look like you've been on a tropical vacation too. All right, I'm going to come back in a little bit. We're going to talk through the rest of this, but you have seen the look because it's not really going to look like this when I come back. We're going to watch TV and do some stuff, and I'm going to finish again later. But as you can see, I am definitely looking bronzy now. And I'm excited because you'll be able to too without buying anything. You have everything that you need except maybe a red blush. You need to order Swelter from Phytosurgence. All right, guys, I will see you in a couple hours. We'll see how this wore. I'm not going to say that the lips will be on because they probably will not. It's a lip gloss. See you in a little bit. Hi guys, it's been more than a couple of hours. I had dinner, we watched a movie, I fell asleep. It's pretty late, but I wanted to just come on and like just finish up this part of the video, and then I'll add some more things tomorrow. Yeah, I slept a little. You could definitely see that I look more tired. There's no amount of concealer that's going to work right now, and I don't want to change that anyway. I wanted to show you a couple more palettes, though. If you have the Mario Ethereal Eyes, there are some beautiful colors in here that you can do for the bronzy. Love that. There are a lot of the Dior Backstage ones that will look great. This is the copper. And if you just want to add some like soft warm tones to your eyes and not really go too far, you also have the warm neutrals, which they have redone both of, I'm guessing both of these, maybe one of these in the new formula. And then you can go into some of your palettes like this where you've got like this Esum row. And I have the exact same thing, but in matte formula. You know, so I could definitely get into like the warm part of this palette. And if you wanted to go with like nothing real sparkly, that's a really good option. Or, you know, you could get into something just really bright, like these tones. I mean, this is even like a pretty bronzer. You can use these for anything. They're powders. So think outside the box. It's not just about, you know, eyeshadow being eyeshadow. Things can be blush. Let's try this a little of this as a blush, and I'll show you what I mean. It's all in the brush that you choose and how you choose to put it on. So I'm just going to go into just this one pan. And yes, you have to be careful with something like this, but, you know, in a pinch, if I use this here, it's going to be more of a bronzer for me. And then you have to bring multiple products with you. I also pulled out one of Lisa Eldridge's products. This is Cinnabar. If you want to go into those rosy gold tones, especially if you're warm tone, these would be beautiful. And then I really do love just like a pop of some kind, some shine. And I can like double use my Clé de Peau on the eyes to just bring them back to life after my little nap. But this was what I used for glow. And it is just so pretty on the skin. And then, of course, you know, you can use all of these on the body. You can do a self-tanner. You can do a rub-on product. Like I said, my Fenty is in the other room. But, you know, any kind of glowy gel kind of a product, and you're going to get some nice bronzing. And you can just put it in all the places that you want to add a little glow. Yes. So you can fake a tan, because you guys know how pale I am right now and how pasty my skin has been. Lips you can play with. You know, I was playing with the red tone because I just really like that sort of sunburn look that I was doing. And that was using my swelter. I think we've got to add a little bit of my sunburn back. I must have. I fell asleep and my husband put a blanket on me and my face was behind it. Can't help it. I get tired. So yeah, this is, you know, the bronze look, just like Dior showed us, without spending any money, just going in and using the things that we have. I think everybody can give themselves some kind of a glow up. Some kind of, you know, just taking your skin from one shade to another. You can use things like adjusters like we talked about, like in your foundation to mix in, or you can go right on top. There are liquids, there are powders, there are creams. You have so many options, which is so exciting. And my next look for you guys is going to be Poppy Coral, we're going to call it. And I am going to pop some coral all over the place tomorrow. But for now, I think we have done bronzy. I think we've done it well. Maybe we're not the way it looks after I've slept for several hours, but the lights are harsh after you've been asleep. I hate to say. Okay, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. I will link the products to my shelf. If you have any questions about it, you can let me know. But the important thing is pulling together colors that you feel comfortable with, whether you want to go cool toned or warm toned. I still think that no matter what, when you're doing a bronze, even if you are pulling for your undertone, whether it's golden or olive or red or pink or whatever, if your bronzer is going to pull the color that you want, you're in business. And everybody's going to need something a little bit different. And I've found, you know, that I can do this, but I need to add enough red that it doesn't look orange on me. There's nothing about this reading orange right now, which I really like. You know, the rest is up to you, but I'm hoping that you will spray tan or faux tan or use bronzer, body makeup, eyeshadow, lip gloss. You feel like you are entering the summer months. They're going to be upon us. And I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that you are too. I'm going to double check and make sure that there's nothing else I want to show you. And then I'm going to wrap things up with you and say, and yeah, so that's all I have for you today, everybody. Have a great day. Take care. Bye. I was going to try this new Natasha Denona Glow. Totally forgot. So this is the High Gen in Light. And basically you just swirl your hand on it and then you can pat it on. And I love the really pretty glow that you get. Let's put a little bit over here. Just going to use a brush. So I also like the fact of just having like really glowy skin. And this definitely gives you that multi-dimensional shine. Put a little of it up here. And I always find that if I lighten right over here, it sort of accents the other way that the cheekbones are so that they're not too low. And a tan does go all the way across and up here, so you're in business. Love that. All right, you guys, sound off down below how you like to tan, what products you like to use for bronzing. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you had a good time today, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help this video get seen by more people. Share it, please. Like it, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I upload. I like to do all different kinds of fun videos, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to where I can start doing lives and we can start interacting with each other a lot more. Please follow me on Instagram if you have not. It's a place where I put lots of fun things in my stories, and I also post every time I get a video, so you can go over and check that out. And I will see you guys all again very soon. Mwah. Take care.